everybody, I'm Corinne Blackstone and welcome to my craft room. I'm so excited to have you here today. In today's tutorial, we are going to be showing you how to make a fun font with an outline. So you may be familiar with the Varsity font. I'll put a little image right here for you because I messed this one up, but that's okay. And you may like the look, but maybe you don't like that blockiness of the font. So I'm going to show you how you can do that with a couple of different style fonts to still make that similar look, but do it with your own style. Now, I did have a little problem cutting, and that was because a little piece of paper got stuck to the blade on my Cricut. So you may see a couple of letters are not weeded perfectly, and that just happens. It's fine. It's no big deal. I could go back and just cut that letter if I want to, and I will show you guys how you can go back in and just cut one single letter just so you can see how to do that really quickly because it is super easy. That way if you mess something up, you don't have to recut the entire design. You can just insert a new letter. As you guys know, I am embrace the mistakes. I don't want to edit that stuff out for you guys because I want you to know that even though I've been doing this for years and I make tutorials, I too have mistakes. I too have troubles with my machine, and it's totally fine and totally normal. Don't think that every single person in the world is perfect with their Cricut because they're definitely not. So let's go ahead, get started. I can't wait to show you how to do this. So first, I'm going to show you the font that kind of inspired this idea because I don't always love such a blocky font. I'm going to go ahead and place my text. And we're just going to have it say my name, but you can really make these say whatever you want. Now, the text that we're going to use for this is called College, and it's under my system fonts. And what you'll notice with this font is that it has an outline around the letters, and I'll make these a little bit bigger so that you can really see. And I love the idea of this, but I don't always want such a blocky font. Sometimes I wanted something a little more round or even a script font. So I'm going to show you how you can create a font that looks like this, but with a different font because it's really, really simple. And we'll do a few fonts so you can see kind of what they look like. Just for ease of use, I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this font just because then I don't have to start a new text box. And then I can go into my system fonts. You can do this with Cricut fonts too, but I like to use my system fonts. And you can choose whatever font you want to do this with. So choose whatever font makes you happy. This DTC Aloma Island is a really, really fun font. I think it's super cute and it's really easy to work with. Plus, I just love that it's a little bit more round and fun. So let's make a little outline for this. Now, the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to space my letters out just a little bit using this letter spacing option here. And I just want to space them out just a bit to give some space for the outline because really once this outline's gone, these letters are pretty far apart. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to add an offset. This is super easy, but one thing is you want to make this offset really small. You can use the slider bar here if you want to, or you can type in a number. It's whatever you want to do. It's up to you. I'm going to leave this at 0.069 because you can see it's a pretty thin offset. I'm going to go ahead and click apply. Now what you'll see is we have this black outline around our letters. Now we need to make an offset of our offset. So with that selected over here in your layers panel, I want you to click offset again. And I tend to like to make it the same width as the original, but you can make it thicker if you want to. It's up to you. Do whatever you want to do. But I'm going to click apply. Now I need to slice the two offsets apart from each other. So I need to select this offset and click slice. Now remember, when working with slice, you can only slice 2 items at a time. So now I want to get rid of the inner offsets, which should be the smaller versions. Now, when you get to this point and you really can't tell which offset is which and you don't want to delete the wrong thing, use the eyeball to hide and it'll show you which is the correct one to delete. So I want to delete this top one up here. And that is going to give us this fun outline. I think it looks so cute. It's so easy to do. Now, like I said, you can really do a similar style for any font. Now, obviously your script font isn't going to have each letter individually outlined, but it's still going to be really cute. So let me just hide these really quick. You do also want to make sure that you weld, unite, or attach this outline to your font or it's not going to cut around it. But I do want to show you a script font just because I think that's going to be kind of cool. And I like the way that it looks because you can do a lot with them and they just add just a little more like pizzazz to your design. So I'm going to go into my fonts again, and I'm just going to pick a script font that I like. Now, I do recommend if you're going to do this, doing a little bit of a thicker script works a little bit better than doing a thin script. It just does. The thin scripts tend to get a little bit kind of squished looking and doesn't really work for me. But you do you. If you like it, that's fine. So here is our script font. This one I can never pronounce. It's like Gullia script. I'll link the fonts that I'm using down below for you. So what you want to do is the same thing. It's no different. You're going to use an offset. And again, make the offset as big as you want. I prefer a thinner one. And then I'm going to apply. I'm going to do the same thing where I offset the offset, click apply, and then you want to slice the two offsets apart. So just go down to slice. Now again, it can be hard to tell which ones you want to get rid of, so you can just hide them. So you definitely don't want to get rid of that one, but we want to get rid of these two. So I'm just going to delete these. And then look at how stinking cute this is. So I'm going to go ahead, select the entire thing and attach it. And now what's really fun, I love to cut these in like some of the like printed patterns and stuff because it stands out really nicely. If you want to preview what it would look like, you can go into your operation and change it from print and cut or from basic cut to print and cut. And then what you can do is you can change it to a pattern under the color. If you choose print type, go to color and click pattern. You can choose patterns. You can add your own patterns to these. You can really kind of do whatever you want. There's a lot of great ways to make these. This probably would not be necessarily what I want to do, but I can edit my pattern so I could see it so that the scale's a little bit bigger. Like it would be if I was actually cutting it on the vinyl, and it'll just give you kind of a better look. This isn't quite exact, but it's close enough. So it kind of gives you an idea of what it would look like. So it's a really fun way to make these designs. Now, again, you can do this with any font. You can do this with any type of design that you want to. I'm going to go ahead and cut these out so you can see what they look like because I do think they're going to be really, really fun. Let me go ahead and change this guy back to a basic cut, and we'll cut some of these out. I'm going to make them smaller too because I think that's just a little bit too big. But that way you can see what they look like. I think they're really fun. It's a fun way to make your fonts stand out. It gives you a lot of playroom if you want to make something a little bit different, a little more fun and fancy, whatever you want to do with it. So let's head over to the machine and cut these out. I'm going to cut one of them with this really fun pattern. This is one of my patterns. If you guys don't know, I do have my own patterned vinyl, and they're all kind of what I would say would be Disney inspired. So this one is, I think, Rainbow Gems. So I'm going to go ahead and load this. We're going to cut this one, and then I've got two more colors. So we're going to cut the other two as well so that you can see what they all look like once they're cut out of the vinyl, because I think that really makes a big difference when you can see a finished product.
If I could run with you, and from what I have heard, you do the same thing too. I wanna say forever, we could be good together. Guess mystery loves company. Better too late than never. You know we could do better. So take a chance and run with me. Everywhere we
So if, like me, you have some issues where your design did not cut correctly or you've got a letter that's messed up, I'm going to show you two different ways that you can correct this. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to hide this one because we're not going to use it. And I am going to make this one a little bit bigger really quick because we're going to work with this one first. I know that this end right here did not cut well, so I can just simply use the slice option so that I can cut the end. So I'll show you how to do that one first, and then I'll show you the other way. So what I'm going to do is go to shapes, and I'm going to just choose a square. And all you need to do is take this square and stretch it out so that it covers the entirety of this N without covering any of the other letters. Now, keep in mind that you can only slice 2 layers. So this font right now is actually more than 2 layers with the square. That would be 3 layers. So what I want to do is I'm going to take where I have this attached font, I'm going to go to combine, and I'm going to unite them, and that'll tell Design Space that this is actually 1 layer instead of 2. Then I can use my square and my font just to use the slice option. And all I have to do now is I'm going to delete this black square. And then what I like to do is I'm going to hide the pieces that I don't need, and I'm just left with the N. That way, if I ever want to go back and use this again, I don't have to worry about not having all of my pieces and my parts. Now, there is another way to do this. Let me go ahead and scooch him out of the way. So we're going to use this font here. Now, what you're going to notice is that your contour option here is grayed out. If you go down to combine and you weld your text, it tells Design Space that it's now an image and not text. You can't contour text, but you can contour images. So we know that this, again, why it's always the N. We're just going to use this second N here. I don't know which one it is. I don't know if it's the first or second. It doesn't really matter. And then I'm going to go to contour. So under contour, I'm going to find all of my letters that are not, N's. And I'm going to click on them to get rid of them. But you can see there's like extras of all these letters. You can kind of see them coming in and out over here on your Design Space. But I do find with this font, this has like a lot of little extra pieces and parts in it because of all the outlines. So I like to use the menu on the side to get rid of all the pieces and parts that I don't need. Then all I want to do now is I can go ahead and close this, and I could get rid of one of the ends, but I'd rather just cut them both. But you can definitely just single out one of the ends. But that's one way to correct it. That way you don't have to cut the whole thing over again. You can just cut whatever letter didn't either weed right or cut right to begin with. So I hope that this helps you out. I hope you picked up some tips and tricks on how to fix those parts that either didn't weed right or whatever. I got mad at this one, so I gave up on it. But this is a really fun way to make fonts a little more interesting, maybe have a little bit of a different vibe. And there's lots of ways that you can use this. You can really use this on any font that you want. You can see here I did a script font, but you can also do these on really anything that you want to. I love being able to cut this with some patterns too. I think that little offset makes the wording stand out just a little bit better. Now, if you have any questions, by all means, please let me know in those comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. Be sure you're subscribed here. That way you don't miss out on any of the fun, crafty content we have coming. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And as always, happy crafting.